This House believes that it's important for the UK, for Hong Kong to get full democracy. So we're debating today about whether it's important for the UK for Hong Kong to basically get what they want. How would it affect us, and whether it would be good for us? Okay.
You guys can vote. You guys can vote. Speakers can't vote.
Speakers can't vote. Okay, cool.
We believe that it is absolutely important for the United Kingdom, not against, but for Hong Kong to have full democracy.
Me and my partner James are going to talk about, first of all, the effect of this on the people of Hong Kong and how this relates to the importance of the UK, and then second to do with the effect of people in the UK, and he's going to talk about the effect of people in the UK, and he's going to cover that topic. But first of all, I'm going to just go through one bit of rebuttal before I go on to address my point. So, the main point put forward by the previous speaker was to do with this idea that if we did not support this motion as the UK, this would damage the financial market within Hong Kong, which would then be a detriment to the UK. And now, this problem with this argument, it relies solely on this idea that if we do not solve this motion, Hong Kong is going to regress into a form completely owned by China, which we on the opposition do not support. We believe if we do not dispose of the motion, it will merely mean the status quo remains, which we are not supporting in Hong Kong, but we are saying this is not a major issue for the UK, and we are going to argue that this is not the biggest issue we should be addressing.
It's important for the UK, for Hong Kong to get full democracy, and I would like to make 2 points here in support of our claim. The first point I would like to highlight is the uniqueness of the UK in terms of the relationship with Hong Kong. And the second point is about the timing that Hong Kong is now having, which will be further elaborated.
Bit of rebuttal quickly, and that's start with their point on this is their last opportunity to fix the problems in Hong Kong, to get their full democracy. That's not true, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that. What we do know, and this is a conclusive fact, is that if Britain gets too involved now, forces the issue, that's going to make this a bigger issue, one China cannot back down on, one China cannot allow for its public image for Hong Kong to get democracy. The best thing for Britain nowadays is to step away from it. That's the best thing for Hong Kong as well. The only way they're going to achieve its full democracy is if it doesn't slight China on the international stage. That's my first bit of rebuttal. My second bit is to do with the moral obligation you suggested. I'm going to admit, Britain has had an illustrious past. We've not been the greatest. We have, in many countries in Africa, committed mass genocide in some cases, and also infringed on many rights. Now, I don't think that the point here is for us to get involved in every single country, every single conflict. We can't fix it all, so the problem is now, the only way for this problem to fix themselves are for countries to fix themselves. Britain doesn't want to start a new empire. Hong Kong doesn't want to be part of the British Empire again. Now if...
Thank you for your speech. I have certain points that to point out from yours, which I totally do not understand your logic. Maybe your logic certainly has some favorability with the most honorable certain King Jong-il from a certain country. Actually, many people in Hong Kong actually do not feel Hong Kong is part of China. They feel that Hong Kong is a colony of China instead. I have 2 further points on UK's responsibility. First, we are actually protecting the British core values, if you know them, by protecting Hong Kong. Secondly, the UK as a global leader has more responsibility than others to defend the human rights. So what's the British core values?
To oppose this motion, and I'm going to argue the slightly controversial point, and it hasn't yet been touched upon, and why full democracy as a term is not in the UK's interests. Well, I would just like to start by rebutting 2 points that Carl made, and that was that there is an increase in GDP when a country returns to democracy. Well, let me give you 4 examples. Egypt, economy ruined. Iraq, economy ruined again, and now it's being torn apart. Libya, same results. And Tunisia, well, with politicians are being assassinated on quite a regular basis. And also, you were saying that what's the use of the Commonwealth Office? Well, Hong Kong isn't part of the Commonwealth and isn't eligible to be because it's not independent in its own right. It's under the sovereignty of China. Well, back to my argument. Well, everyone has the right to self-determination.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just so disappointed that the UK found no interest in this matter. Undeniably, UK is one of the global leaders in the world. So please show hands who thinks the UK is incapable to deal with this challenge. Yeah? Okay, fair enough. So to sum up,
I'd like to begin, if I may, by rebutting a few of the points made by the proposition. One of the biggest themes that has permeated the entire argument posed by the proposition is the uniqueness of the relationship between us and Hong Kong, and the uniqueness of a Southeast Asian democracy. Uniqueness does in no way mean legitimacy, does in no way, in and of itself, lend any credence to any idea. So I would put it to you that it's actually not a very strong argument upon which to found a movement. Just because it's unique doesn't make it at all a good thing. It's also worth noting that one of the big points that the proposition has made is that we have a moral obligation due to our cultural colonial hangover. If Great Britain is to spend its entire time dealing with its colonial hangover, we will find ourselves hamstrung by the past. We will be dealing with issues extant in all of our ex-colonial regions. We will find ourselves dealing with political issues over which we have no right, in which we have no right to be involved.
And the British government in the Sino-British Joint Declaration that we
you thought they were all kidding you.
There is about 2 or 3 people still in the
it's a domestic problem. And don't you think it's a bit sad that you need to take your problem?
Hey.